junkies, horror junkies 519. Kyle 13th coming at you again today, you guys, and I'm coming right back at you with, if you remember my last video, my favorite slasher movies, you guys. Yes, I've said it in the first video, and I'll say it again, you guys. I am an absolute slasher fanatic. It is my absolute favorite subgenre of horror. It's what got me into horror, and it's honestly what keeps me into horror. My story is, you guys, I was planning on being the slasher junkie when I first started this whole thing, but I didn't want to put myself in such a tight box as far as things I could do. So that's why I am the horror junkie now, because I'm broadening my horizons always, always broadening them, watching different things besides slashers, you guys. But I always remember where and what I came from, and that is slashers, you guys. So my last video was my favorite slashers that I had on DVD, and this one's going to be the ones I have on Blu-ray. Not saying these Blu-ray ones are better than DVDs, or these Blu-ray ones are vice versa. The Blu-ray ones are better than ones on DVD, and the ones that are on DVD are better than the Blu-rays. Blah, blah, blah. Gosh, it's so taxing sometimes. Woo! Alright, you guys, so I got 17 more titles, I believe, to add to my favorite slasher collection, you guys. And if you watch both these videos and you're still not seeing your favorite slasher, put it down in the comments, you guys. Let's talk about it, because chances are I do like it. It's just it didn't make the list of my favorites. So, or maybe you have a slasher that I have not heard of. I do have like 9 more of them on the way, because Arrow did a Easter sale, and so I hit up that pretty hard. And then also I got a couple from Vinegar Syndrome. So you'll be seeing some new movies, new slashers coming from me, and I cannot wait. So let's go ahead and dig right into these 17 titles, you guys. I'm going to try and make this as quick as I did last one. There's not as many, but, you know, still. Let's make this short, sweet, and to the point. I hope everyone's being safe out there, and here's my advice to being safe. Be safe, watch horror, because you got to be home to watch horror, unless your theater's open, which I don't think is a thing. I really wish I had a drive-in theater, because I would love to abuse it right now. But, yeah, that's my trick to staying safe from this stuff. I stay inside, and I watch horror. And when I'm done here, I'll probably be watching a horror movie and eating chicken nuggets. That's gonna be my day. Because I already mowed the lawn and I already did my math homework, you guys. So, wow, I'm just dragging this out, aren't I? Alright, you guys, let's get right into this, you guys. All alphabetized as always, because I'm a little psychotic. So, first one is gonna be Amsterdam. And this is actually a really fun slasher movie that takes place in Amsterdam. And the slasher is actually a person in a scuba suit. Which I thought was really cool. I mean, I'm just trying to picture, when I first heard of this, I was picturing like a guy like trying to run away in like flippers. And if you've ever tried to run in flippers, it's never a good thing. Like, it's never quite, you're not sneaky or elusive. But Amsterdam, this was a blind buy by me, and I freaking absolutely loved it. I just watched it recently again with Angelina, and it's still very good. Got that great foreign feel and everything. It's just a good time. And this next one, you guys, has been one of my favorite movies since the day it came out. It's just probably one of the coolest horror movies. It just straight up takes place in the horror world as if it was all one world, you guys. And I can't thank this movie enough. And that is Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. And you guys, if you have not seen this movie, you are absolutely missing out if you are a slasher fan. This has got like all little, they mentioned Jason, Freddy, and Michael and all that stuff in this movie as if like they're in the same world. And Leslie Vernon is a great killer. They were planning on doing a sequel to this, but I don't think it's happening. They did do a comic book, but everyone's getting older, and I just don't see it happening anymore. I'm still hopeful, but I guess I always am, so I guess it never stops. But Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. If you have not seen it, oh, that might be more recommended than most of these other titles. These are all recommended, of course, but Behind the Mask, Rise of Leslie Vernon is always just maybe another step up, because it's just that awesome. Alright, you guys, next one was another blind buy, but I mean, you know, if I see a slasher, I don't look at reviews, I just buy it, usually, because that's just my style. And that is Blood Rage. Basically, the only thing I knew about this movie was it took place on Thanksgiving before I bought it. And it's like, finally, a Thanksgiving movie. There's not enough Thanksgiving horror out there. I know of Thanksgiving, and I know Home Sweet Home, and Blood Rage, and I think that's it. But I guess, I don't know, I might be missing something, but if you know something, drop it down in the comments as well. We'll have a conversation about it. But Blood Rage, one of those just lost slasher movies that hadn't been heard of since it was out on VHS, and now we got this amazing Blu-ray. Oh, brother. Alright, you guys, and this next movie is actually a movie that was brought to my attention because I was such a fan of Friday the 13th, and I was working at a video store, and they were just like, have you ever heard of this? And it was just something I never heard of, and it's just in the same vein. And so this was when I was pretty young, starting up, but you know, I'm glad to have this now, and it's wicked awesome and one of my favorite slashers, and that is The Burning. Absolutely love this movie. I would love to see a sequel. I don't want to see a remake. I would much rather see a sequel to this, but you know, I just don't see this getting picked back up again. You know, there's the fans of this movie are out there. I see this movie on just about every single favorite slasher video and everything. The Burning's always there, usually right at the top. Some people, this is their favorite slasher of all time. So I think it deserves a little something. Like, and I'm not even asking for like a good slasher, like a good sequel. I just want one. it is what it is. I can't help it. Another blind buy for me, and I was really worried about this one because it had Brad Pitt in it. And I don't know why. Whenever I see movies like that, and it's got a big star now that has it. I know a lot of stars came from horror, but for some reason it always makes me nervous, and that is Cutting Class. One I never heard of until it came out on this Blu-ray, and I was just like, oh, it's a slasher, so I bought it. Obviously, I was nervous about Brad Pitt being in it, but damn, is this movie awesome. Highly recommended, at least for a checkout, but more for the slasher fans out there. I don't really recommend this to a lot of, like, you know, regular watchers. I have a lot of people at work that ask me, like, oh, so what's the new horror movie? What are you watching? It's like, you know, I give them grains of salt because I don't expect them to like, you know, just the low budge random crap that I love. So, you know, I have to stick with, like, you know, the very mainstream stuff because, you know, I feel like they turn on a movie that's low budget and I was like, this doesn't look good, and they're gonna hate it. And so, like, that's kind of how I give movies recommendations to people that aren't like legit horror fans or, like, you know, in the know of stuff. So I would never give them Cutting Class ever. This next one was another blind buy for me, but this thing is some 80s happiness cheese. This was an 80s fest, and I never even knew about it, and I absolutely adore it. Like, there's so much 80s in this one movie that it's just, it's prime time, that's all I'm going to say. And that's Doom Asylum. Never heard of it, never knew anything about it until I heard this was dropped, so I got it, watched it, and it's an absolute blast, you guys. There's like this band in it or something like that, and they're just like the cheesiest, like, glam metal band ever, and it just cracks me up throughout the entire movie. It's just a good fun time. Alright, you guys, next up is a movie that, you know, I always heard of, but I never, like, saw it. Like, for some reason, like, I never saw it around, and I got it one time from, Angelina got me this one for either birthday, I think, and I watched it, and I understand why it is a classic, and that is The Dorm That Dripped Blood, and I just find this movie fan-frickin-tastic. It's got the lady from Spaceballs in it. She's the Jewish princess, but yes, I absolutely adore this movie, and it's just another fun slasher, you guys. I'm trying not to get too far into a lot of these movies just because I could be here all day, even with 17 titles. And next is a newer one that just hit. I had this on bootleg, and I'm so happy to finally get it on a Blu-ray, a gorgeous Blu-ray, by the way, and that is the Edge of the Axe. This is just one of those low-budge slasher movies that never got a DVD Blu-ray release. Absolutely love this movie just because, like, the mask is basically like almost like a Michael Myers mask with the hair shaved off, so I always call him Grandpa Michael Myers, kind of. And so here's the new art and the old art, kind of really old school. I have not checked out the transfer on this yet, but I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, I just think it's going to be a great time. Edge of the Axe. I already know I like this one. Alright, you guys, another one that takes place in the woods. I mean, that's one of my favorite places for any horror movie to take place in, and that is the woods. And so the Final Terror, no, this is not one of the best slashers in the world, but it always gets a boost to me because it is in the woods, and it's my favorite place. If it's not the woods, I want it to be in the grocery store like Intruder. Freaking love that movie. But the Final Terror, good stuff, guys. All right, you guys. This is a little bit of a newer one. I mean, it's old to debate. It's old now, but you know, it's still newer than, you know, the 80s, and that is the Midnight Meat Train. This one may be debatable whether it's a slasher, whether it's not. It's got a lot going into it, but I mean, just on the front page of this, it is a slasher, in my opinion. You know, the little twist at the end kind of turns it into something different. it's brutal and I love it. So I just can't help it. I had to put it on here. Alright, this next one, I really saw the star of this movie, and that's what made me buy it, and that's, the star is Bill Paxton, and that movie is Mortuary. I heard that he was in a slasher movie, and I had to have it. So, I had to throw Mortuary on this, because this is a fantastic one. Alright, guys, and the next one I see on just about every single slasher list ever, and it belongs there. So don't get me wrong on anything here. I absolutely love this movie, too. And that is Motel Hell. Where is it? It takes all kinds of critters to make Farmer Vincent's fritters, you guys. If you don't know about this movie, seriously check it out. It's very highly recommended by a lot of horror fans, you guys. Oh, man. This is a movie I heard about on a documentary one time, and I couldn't find it anywhere but DVD, VHS. And so I got this on bootleg, and then this finally came out, this beautiful Blu-ray, and that is The Mutilator, you guys. This is one of my favorite slasher movies that kind of came out of nowhere for me. I mean, a little tagline, by sword, by picks. By sword, by pick. By axe, bye-bye. Also known as Fall Break, I believe. But this is The Mutilator, you guys. Highly recommended. Great copy by Arrow, you guys. Arrow is going to take all my money, and I'm okay with it. Another movie I had on bootleg because it never had a DVD release, but now we got this great Blu-ray, and I love it absolutely even more. And that is The Prey, kind of a silly creature-esque movie slasher, kind of like Humongous in a weird way if you've seen that one. But the ending is kind of a little bit weird. If you guys have seen it, you definitely know what I'm talking about. Like, I definitely did not see that one coming, but highly recommended. The Prey. I don't know why I keep saying recommended. These are on my list. I recommend them. All of them. I think it's because I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do with my hands, guys. Alright, you guys, and this one kind of leads down to a sequel that's more slasher-esque, but I want to put this in here anyway. And that is The Strangers. I definitely think that the second one is more slasher-esque than this one. But I mean, it definitely has the, the quintessential aspects of a slasher. I mean, it's not a high body count in any way, shape, or form or anything like that. But, the masks, the knives, the whole tactics and everything, I just feel like it belongs on this list. And I am a huge fan of both of them. So, there's that. Alright, you guys, and this one is probably on the top of the list for a lot of people as far as these newer slasher movies. This one got so mainstream that I feel like a lot of the people that aren't into horror, there's like, dude, have you seen Terrifier? Like, they're like in the know of whether they don't follow the independent circuit and stuff like that. But so this one kind of got bigger than I really expected. But I mean, it's well deserved. I liked it. I mean, I'm really hoping, I have a lot expectation for the sequel, but we will see. And that is Terrifier. I'm happy that this movie happened. It was good for a lot of independent filmmakers for this to come out, but I feel like this one got way too big for its britches, and that's all I can really say. Like, I feel like this one got way too big, and it kind of started irking some of the normal regular horror movie or horror fans instead of like, this got way too mainstream, which is really preachy to say, but I mean, it is what it is. I still like it. I mean, it's still on my list, regardless. Alright, you guys, and last but not least is, I mean, this one I see a lot of people watch and they don't like it. This is a very slow mover, but I mean, it is based on true events, and I just find the whole, like, killer and everything in it, and I put this movie on and I can just watch it and enjoy it no matter how slow it is, and just enjoy it. I live in the moment of this movie, and that is the original, The Town That Dreaded Sundown. I've seen a lot of people, like, I've watched it and it was just too blah. And I get it. I understand. I see where that comes from a lot. But this has such a great historic feel to it. And like the killer being the Phantom with the little sack mask. I love the sack mask. I know that's where Jason Part 2 probably did get that mask. But this one's got 2 eye holes. But I mean, it's just, I just love the look of it. I absolutely think this movie is fantastic. And the remake or whatever that one's supposed to be, a sequel or I don't know what it is. It's also The Town That Dread Sundown is fantastic, but I had to put this one on here since I'm putting originals. I don't put sequels on here. So that is a rule. And so that is it, you guys. That is my favorite slashers that I have on Blu-ray, you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys are not seeing a slasher out of the 2 movies that you were looking for, drop it down in the comments. Let me know about it, because if I don't know about it, I'd love to know about it. If I don't know about it, I'd love to know about it. Yeah. I'm always looking for new titles, you guys. There's so many horror movies out there that have not seen the light of day. I'm really not to the point where it's like, you know, I look at ratings anymore. Like, if someone were to give me a recommendation, even though it's maybe not rated well, I'd watch it because, you know, somebody likes it. That means I could be another one of those people. So I'm willing to give any slasher movie a watch, literally. I've seen everything from the worst of the worst and liked it, and I've seen everything from the best to the best and I didn't like it. So it's just your taste, you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this set of videos I did. I have more slashers on the way, you guys, so these lists are always going to be forever changing. Maybe I'll do them again way down the road, but we'll see. That's going to do it for me, you guys. Horror Junkies 509, Kyle 13, signing out. Just until next time, you guys. And you already know it. I've been sentenced to life. I am a horror lifer, and you guys have a killer day. We did it, you guys. And you guys stay safe and watch horror.